A new adventure is beginning September 1st, 2012, and we'll be doing a week-long bike tour of New Hampshire and Maine mostly. First day ended with 65 miles. I just set up camp here. See if I have a very minimalist one-person tent. Cover the bike, and time to go take a shower. Now I've got a problem. This trail isn't finished, and I need to get through here. So I'm going to be taken to the street here. So you see it's a highway. I'm not going to walk it through that dirt. So wish me luck, and hopefully if anyone else does this route in the future, this will all be finished. Crossing the bridge here in Portland feels like a mythical place to me. I'm from Boston and I've never been to Portland. It always sounded so far away. And here, just in less than 2 days ride, I'm here, you know. So I'm hoping to find a campground maybe another 15 miles and maybe do about 75 or 80 for the day. So this is really quite congested town. It smells like fish, as I guess you would expect. So day 2 was pretty successful. I didn't really film much day 1 because I just wasn't very good day. I was in pain after 30 miles. No one did 65 on the day. And then the campground I stayed at was really awful. But day 2, I got a kick in the pants halfway through and started really feeling good. So I arrived at Cedar Haven, 80-mile day of riding. I just set up camp. Just a quick rundown here. I've got a single tent. Really just enough for one person, and not even enough room to outstretch an arm. But it's light, and I already threw my mattress in there and my sleeping bag and let both of those loft up a bit. My rainfly is still a little wet from last night, so I'm letting that dry out. It didn't rain last night, but it actually holds in a lot of humidity, so it got wet. And I'm riding the Club Racer again, which is a light touring bike from Independent Fabrication, and that's doing very well, except I am going to be putting that steel fork back on. I can really feel a handling issue with all the weight on the rear end. It kind of bobbles the front around a little bit. So when I'm riding, I don't bring soap with me. What I do is I use the hand soap from the sinks. And when they have these ones, I really like to just bring it right in with me. And people, if they need to wash their hands, they're out of luck. I also do my laundry in the shower with me for the day, so that it's going to be ready not tomorrow, but the day after. And I'll hang it on my rear rack, and by lunchtime it's usually dry. And I just use a small towel, something light. This one's a military towel, and the name's Cordova on that one. And I actually do know Cordova, but I'm sure you could get these at a surplus store if you wanted something about that size. And now I'm just going to relax for the evening, read a book. So it's the morning of day 3. I'm leaving Freeport, and it's cold this morning, but maybe I'm just up a little bit earlier than usual, and a little bit sore from yesterday's ride, but ready to go, excited. Hoping to be outside of Acadia by the end of the day, which is a long ride. 70 miles today, and I'm just wore out, and I'm at Acadia National Park, which wasn't the intended goal for the end of today. But I guess I didn't really realize what I was in for. Acadia is still a full day's ride away at about 80 miles. And I think I'm out of time for heading north. And there's a big storm coming in, the remnants of Hurricane Isaac. And it's supposed to start dumping on me tonight and all day tomorrow. So I'm going to be staying put. And Acadia, no. Unfortunate. I don't know if I'll get out of here tomorrow or not, depending on what the rain looks like, how severe. But I mean, I could think of worse places to be stranded than a national park. It's not the one I was hoping for, but a little disappointed. Very tired. Very dirty. It looks like I'm going to be stuck here for a day, which is I should have been up in Acadia, and tomorrow should have been my Acadia day, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I set up camp here, and I put the tent in the highest ground, even though this area looked better in the short term. There's some possibility of it turning into a puddle in the long term. And they're saying 3 inches of rain, so I put it over here, even though it doesn't have as good a tree cover. But ultimately, at least it won't be underwater. And I took a shower, and they have separate showers from the bathrooms. So like I did my little soap trick. I went into the shower and I kind of got wet, and then I put my towel on and I went into the bathroom. And I went over to the soap thing and I gave it a bunch of pumps and put it into my head and started lathering up, and it like smelled like alcohol. So I look at the thing and it was Purell hand sanitizer. So I looked around and there's no soap, only Purell, which makes no sense. But state parks are a little unpredictable and primitive sometimes. So that master plan got foiled, and I really would have liked it. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be in a single-person tent in a rainstorm, I can tell you that I feel a little bit like Tom Hanks in Apollo 13, right when that oxygen tank explodes. Yeah, it's small, and it's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is what a tropical storm is like. In a little bitty tent. Pretty intense. Everything's soaking wet. The ground is just saturated. Starting to discover finally the Maine that I've been looking for is this. This is what I've been really wanted to experience and haven't seen anything so far. All I've seen is UPS trucks and long distance truckers. So I'm pleased to start heading into some of these more quiet boating towns. This is actually right off of Route 1 heading down to Pemaquid. So I think we're going to encounter some more things of this nature soon. dogs. This might sound outrageous, but I've never actually been inside of a lighthouse. Despite all the pictures I've taken of them, I've never been able to go inside one. They're federal, usually federal property owned by the Coast Guard. But today is the day I'm going to go inside my first lighthouse. Whoa! I sure am glad I wasn't standing there. The seas were angry that day, my friend. Just all of a sudden, it went wild. And it's creeping up on it. It wasn't doing this a second ago. Anyway, we're going to go inside this lighthouse up here. And see what the view is like from the top. So I'm pretty excited. It's been a rough vacation in a lot of ways. And now I'm currently dealing with my rear tire falling apart, rear wheel. All the spokes are coming loose. My goodness. The tide has just decided to come in all at once. I guess I'll start working my way back up. But yeah, I'm having some issues with the bike now and this tire, this wheel. I've got about 6 spokes that are just completely dead and useless out of 32. So I've got a pretty significant wobble going on in the back of my bike. And I don't have a spoke wrench to try to correct it. So it's been not so relaxing. Is there a...
Hi.
Hi.
I'll move over here if you're coming up.
My goodness.
Sure.
Alright, I've got about 2 seconds up here by myself. I hope you don't have claustrophobia.
Yeah. I'm gonna think about it.
This campground that I just checked into has the best view I've ever seen from a campground. And unfortunately I can't get that site because it's a water and hookup site and I'm just in a tent and I'm not going to pay that extra money, but good God. I'd like to see that first thing in the morning. I bought a spoke wrench and tightened up the spokes in my rear wheel, and it's not really right because I don't know how to do those things accurately, but it's good enough to get me where I'm going. And this morning I just discovered also that my non-drive crank arm had started to come loose. So those are just the things that drive me absolutely crazy about these rides, is mechanical issues. And then I also went to put air in my tire this morning and my pump took a crap, which is nice. I wish it was all like this, but I could use a little bit more on the road. But ultimately, I mean, this is pretty. So from time to time you see in the news about some, overweight folk who have been sitting on the toilet for years to the point where their bodies actually grow around the toilet, and then the firemen have to come and shatter the porcelain and get them off. Well, I've been doing these 8-hour days on the bike, and I'm wondering if there have been any scientific studies or historical, newsworthy, real-to-life situations where a person has grown onto their bike to the point where they can't get removed, because it's only been 5 days, but I'm feeling like my rear end is starting to become bicycle seat shaped. And I'm not even joking, I'm serious. I really feel like my rear end now is 155 millimeters wide in the shape of a pear. So if anybody has ever heard of somebody who needs to have a bicycle unscrewed from their ass, let me know.